On this edition of Good Day DePaul, DePaul President Robert Manuel holds a town hall meeting on some major issues at the university.
Composting. Chicago takes a step forward in expanding this environmental tool.
And a unique Chicago tea shop, one that provides a welcoming atmosphere for LGBTQ people. I'm Juliana Pelaez.
And I'm Adit Jagannathan. And this is Good Day DePaul.
Members of the DePaul community turned out last week for a town hall meeting on the Lincoln Park campus. They were there to hear the university's president, Robert Manuel, provide an update on some key issues at DePaul. Good Day DePaul's Lena Gebhardt was there.
President Manuel hosted a town hall meeting on what he called the health of DePaul University. The meeting focused on the university's finances, enrollment, and public safety.
Over the course of the last maybe 10 months or so, we've been experiencing an increase both in the numbers of crimes we've seen and in the severity of those crimes.
President Manuel provided an update on several existing initiatives which aim to improve safety on campus. These include increased lighting in the Sheffield parking garage as well as more security officers on campus. Manuel says other potential initiatives to improve safety include increased lighting in other dark areas of campus, such as the quad, and a rideshare discount with services such as Uber for students who are outside the capacity of the minivan or shuttle bus. Manuel also discussed other challenges, including the university's finances and enrollment.
We ended our year with an operating loss of $11.1 million. That simple explanation is we spent more than we brought in income.
Manuel says the revenue projection for this fiscal year remains flat due to increasing financial aid needs of current students. He also revealed that enrollment rates are still low following the COVID-19 pandemic, though there are some positive changes in enrollment trends.
And perhaps the most encouraging news is that after a year of thinking about the devotion of how we manage students' return, the re-enrollment, we saw almost a 2% increase in that number. That is freshmen, sophomore, junior, senior, graduate students, full-time, part-time. The entire university is seeing a development of that in positive ways.
Manuel says freshman enrollment this year dropped 0.9%, transfer enrollment increased 4.6%, and new graduate enrollment jumped 18.3%. Manuel says his plan to combat all the challenges DePaul faces circle back to his initiative, Designing DePaul. Manuel calls this a university-wide plan to address or implement changes surrounding a variety of topics which are important to DePaul's core values. These include diversity, student retention, digital presence or use of technology, and safety and security. At the end of the meeting, Manuel shared his thoughts on the Israel-Hamas war and his goal of supporting students during the crisis.
We want to make sure that every group here and is represented at this university has the feeling of safety, security, and support. That we would do this while protecting the core values of an educational institution: academic freedom, free speech, and civil empirical debate. We'll do all of this knowing that if actions, words, or deeds are decided to be Islamophobic or anti-Semitic, that will act to protect those in our community.
A call to action was made at the meeting to address the issues the DePaul community is facing, implementing new strategies to tackle these issues, such as creating new public safety measures and designing programs to better support students during times of crisis. President Manuel says this is all part of his goal to improve the future of DePaul. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lena Gebhardt.
DePaul announced another safety step that it's taking following robberies on and around the Lincoln Park campus. The inter-campus shuttle will now make stops on the south side of Fullerton at Clifton and Kenmore Avenues. DePaul officials say these stops will provide a shorter walk for many residence hall students returning to their rooms, plus giving nearly direct access to the Richardson Library. Previously, the shuttle only dropped off students at the Student Center parking lot.
Composting. It's a key environmental tool, and now the city of Chicago is moving to make this more available to residents. Good Day DePaul's Will Frankel explains.
Beginning on Monday, October 16th, there are now composting stations situated throughout Chicago. The Department of Streets and Sanitation, or DDS, has public composting bins near their offices. This marks the first step in Chicago to creating a system that removes organic waste sustainably. Mayor Brandon Johnson said he mimicked this plan from other U.S. cities doing a similar process. He stated, "Diverting food scrap for composting is one of the easiest and most impactful ways for individuals and cities to address the climate crisis." The Department of Street and Sanitation warns against pollutants in the compost. It is crucial for Chicago residents to only contribute organic waste to these bins. Of the 15 new sites for food scrap, there is a reasonably close location for all Chicagoans to participate. Food waste makes up about a quarter of all municipal waste in the U.S. This new plan hopes to cut Chicago waste by about 17% given residents contribute. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Will Frankel.
In various states around the country, legislators have passed laws that restrict LGBTQ people. But Illinois is not one of those states. And here in Chicago, there's a very welcoming spot for LGBTQ residents. Good Day DePaul's Michaela Wilson was there.
Eli T-Bar has been bringing the Andersonville community weekly trivia nights for over 2 years now, creating an experience like no other. Every Tuesday night, customers have the chance to come in, enjoy their favorite teas, and compete against other teams for prizes.
We have such a big space here that we can constantly have new faces come in as well, and it's just a really good group of people. Everyone's just here to have fun and have a good time and laugh and make friends.
The bar offers customers a variety of natural teas, from iced boba selections to hot sips brewed right from the leaf. Eli T-Bar's Chicago location has been open since 2021, not only serving up delicious teas and trivia, but also creating a community here in Andersonville with nightly activities. The T-Bar prides themselves on offering a sober-friendly nightlife alternative. They focus on creating a welcoming LGBTQ inclusive atmosphere centered around socializing just as you are.
It caters to a queer and LGBTQ community, and there's historically a lot of alcohol in those scenes, and so people have been kind of distancing themselves from that, or people who have never really been close to the alcohol scene kind of have a place that they can go to.
Eli T-Bar's events expand larger than just trivia. Each night, a different themed event is hosted, from book clubs and queer socials to stage readings and open mics. This small shop caters to a variety of different interests across the city and brings together people of all demographics, creating a safe and inviting community. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Michaela Wilson.
Next on Good Day DePaul, a preview of the DePaul men's basketball team.
Stay with us.
The flu is unpredictable and can be serious. Who needs to be vaccinated against the flu? You. Get a flu vaccine. For more information, www.flu.gov.
Audit is here now with Good Day DePaul Sports. Audit.
Thanks, Juliana. The DePaul men's basketball season is now underway, and the big question is what kind of team will the Blue Demons have this year? I tried to find some answers.
The DePaul men's basketball team went through a lot of change during the offseason. The Blue Demons had a disappointing campaign last year, finishing 10th in the Big East with a record of 3-17. Now, with last season's leading scorers Javon Johnson and Umoja Gibson no longer here, Coach Tony Stubblefield has a huge job on his hands to turn around his team.
The guys worked extremely hard over the course of the summer. They've been working hard in practice, and I really like the team chemistry and the way these guys are working up to this point, and I'm really looking forward to the start of the year.
However, he acknowledged that building chemistry is the most important thing right now with all the new players on the roster.
It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to get familiar with playing one another and just learn how to play off of each other.
The Blue Demons have a lot of new transfers like Chico Carter Jr. from South Carolina and Mac Etienne from UCLA. But Stubblefield is confident that he has the right crop of players for this season.
And again, the guys that we do have coming in have played in big games, coming from the Big Ten, coming from the SEC, coming from the Mountain West Conference. So they played on the big stage coming here.
Despite not having played together much, the team looked to be in high spirits at an open scrimmage last week. The athleticism of some of the players was what stood out the most, with returning players Deshaun Nelson and Jalen Terry putting on a show for the people in attendance. But what expectations do DePaul fans and observers have for this season?
I mean, I'm excited about the new people we brought in, like Churchill Abbas and Mac Etienne, Elijah Fisher, Jeremiah Ogden, Jermaine Camara. I'm excited about all of them in here. I hope to God that the coach uses them, because we lost Zion. That was the big one that we lost, and he barely got playing time, and now he's off somewhere else. That was like our biggest recruit in the past decade, and we barely used him.
And many are just hoping for some improvement.
I'm hoping we can do a little bit better. Maybe get like in the fifth in the big, like maybe like sixth, seventh, or fifth in the Big East. Maybe the highest we can go is maybe like a last tournament spot, in my opinion, just because this roster has not had much time to gel together.
So far, Coach Stubblefield likes what he sees.
You know, I'm just happy with our team. You're going to see a team that goes out there and competes night in and night out, makes plays for one another. It's going to be a very solid team on the defensive end and rebounding the basketball.
For Good Day DePaul, I'm Adit Jagannathan.
Meanwhile, one of the greatest basketball players in DePaul history, Mark Aguirre, is coming back to the university.
The DePaul Athletic Department recently announced that former Blue Demon basketball player Mark Aguirre will be a special assistant to athletic director Dwayne Peavy. A Chicago native, Aguirre played for DePaul under legendary coach Ray Meyer from 1978 to 1981. He won the Naismith College Player of the Year in 1980 before being drafted number 1 overall by the Dallas Mavericks. DePaul Athletics released a statement which read, Aguirre will cultivate partnerships with key stakeholders, community partners, and DePaul supporters, in addition to providing strategic counsel to the Vice President and Director of Athletics with the goal of advancing DePaul Athletics' mission, vision, and goals. In an NBA career that spanned 14 years, Aguirre played for the Mavericks, the Detroit Pistons, and the Los Angeles Clippers, winning back-to-back NBA championships during his time in Detroit.
And in other DePaul basketball news, the Blue Demons have landed a new recruit. He is Chris Riddle, a 6'5" forward from Kenwood Academy in Chicago. Riddle, a 3-star recruit, made the announcement on Instagram. In men's soccer, DePaul's Noe Hernandez was named Big East Freshman of the Week. This after Hernandez scored 3 goals and 1 assist in 2 matches. Hernandez is the team's leading scorer. And that's sports. Back to you, Juliana.
Thanks, Audit. Next on Good Day DePaul, a DePaul student is making a difference in some very important areas. Her story when we return.
Today, the heroes that fight day in and day out on the front lines. Those who are there, innovating in real time, saving lives and answering the call to care in times of crisis. American nurses. Nurses who have been there for each and every one of us in times of crisis for more than 150 years. Nurses are the pillar of strength and the foundation of healthcare and life itself. Nurses are there the day we are born. They are there when your family is in crisis, and they are there in the end. In confronting the most catastrophic health crisis in modern history, we must remember our American nurse heroes need our support as much as we need them. To show our gratitude for their courage and ensure they receive the critical education and support services they need, donate to the Coronavirus Response Fund for Nurses today, in honor of your American nurse hero.
A student here at DePaul is using artificial intelligence to deal with crime. I sat down with her to discuss her work.
Adriana Pinzario. Enthusiastic, motivated, and passionate. That's how one professor describes her.
She is very enthusiastic about doing well and learning, and that is the biggest quality that I look for. And that's why I think that it's been working.
Pinzario is a computer science major and junior at DePaul who recently was awarded the Voyager Scholarship from the Obama Foundation and Brian Chesky, the CEO of Airbnb. The scholarship stems from Pinzario's use of artificial intelligence to address safety, especially human trafficking.
I felt very passionately about combating human trafficking, and I realized, I read a lot of research papers in high school, and I realized AI would be a really good solution to help accelerate that, to really help make a difference.
And this includes helping law enforcement deal with human trafficking.
This summer, I kind of spent a lot of time creating a machine learning model that helps combat human trafficking. We trained it on a hotel data set, and it kind of identifies which hotels human trafficking is happening at and kind of searches for indicators. The way it works is it flags, if it finds a hotel where human trafficking is very likely to happen, based on the data set, then it kind of flags it. There's a report that kind of tells you all the information about it, what makes it negative, what makes it an outlier, and all that, and it's for law enforcement.
Pensario is also developing a mobile app to deal with crime on campuses like DePaul.
And basically what we're doing is we're trying to help make campuses safer. We're in the city, there have been a lot of incidents happening on campuses, muggings and stuff like that, and so what we're really focused on is just kind of trying to help we shouldn't be scared to go to school, scared to walk across the street, to kind of just get to our classes. Safety is kind of a human right, we need to have it, and so that's what my startup's focused on.
Adriana Pensario, a DePaul student trying to make a difference. Reporting for Good Day DePaul, I'm Juliana Pelaez.
That's all for this week's edition of Good Day DePaul. You can keep up with us by visiting our Vimeo channel at Good Day DePaul or by going to goodday.depaul.edu.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook.
And if you have any news tips, message us through the Good Day DePaul social media channels.
Thanks for watching. I'm Aditya Jagannathan.
And I'm Juliana Pelaez. Have a good day, DePaul.